Hi everyone, just wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about slope. Slope is something that you would have covered last year, but I just want to do a quick little refresher to make sure you're all set. So first thing we need to remember is ultimately that slope is rise over 1, um, rise over run. And so you could write that as y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. And those just come from any 2 points, x1, y1, that's just some point, and then x2, y2, and that's just some other point. So these are just 2 points on the line, and between them you can determine the slope. So the only thing you need to be careful is number one, you put the y's in the numerator, and number two, you put the x's in the denominator. And the other thing is, if you're calling this one y2, that one's x2. This one's y1. This one's x1. You cannot mix and match. So you do need to be careful whichever order you put them in. A little bit of a reminder, if you have a line that is increasing, that is a positive slope. That just means it's going up. If you end up with a slide that is a line that is going down, that is a negative slope. If it is horizontal, that is a zero slope. So that is where you get something of the form y equals, in this case, 5. And then finally over here, if you are dealing with an undefined slope, if you have a vertical line that is undefined, that is something of the form x equals -5. Okay. We are going to predominantly be looking at the ones where they are not vertical or horizontal. All right, so as you can tell, I'm very excited for you to try these. So let's use the formula. As we said, it is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we need to be careful because it is y's in the numerator, and a lot of times that is where people make a mistake. So it doesn't matter which one I put in the top. So 2 minus 3 over -1 minus a -2. We need to be careful. So we have -1 over -1 minus a -2, which is a +2. So -1 plus 2 is ultimately 1. So we get -1, right? Because a negative minus a negative is a positive. So ultimately we are getting +1 for the denominator. So ultimately my slope here is -1. All right, so that is a -1, so it is decreasing. Let's look at this next one. Again, I'm going to just -1 minus 2, -2 minus 0. I get -3 over -2. The negatives, when you have a negative over a negative, it does cancel, so you get just 3/2. And then finally, this bottom one, we have a -4 minus -6 over -2 minus a -4. All right. So ultimately that is -6, which is a +6. So -4 plus 6 is ultimately 2. We have -2 plus 4, which is just a 2 again. So again, that simplifies to 1. All right. So that's just a quick reminder on slope. Please let me know if you have any questions.